Please open up your books to page 562. Today we are going to complete lesson 13.2, adding and subtracting linear expressions. Our purpose today is to accurately add and subtract linear expressions. A linear expression is an algebraic expression in which the exponent of the variable is 1, meaning that in our math problem there will be no exponents. So examples include negative 4x, 3x plus 5, 5 minus 1/6 x, or anything as long as there is not an exponent as part of the problem. These are all examples of nonlinear expressions. X to the second power, negative 7x to the third power plus x, x to the fifth power plus 1. Those are non-examples. So you can use a vertical or a horizontal method to add linear expressions, and I will be showing you both ways. First, we're going to take a look at adding these expressions vertically. So notice we have x minus 2 plus 3x plus 8. So notice off to the side, the first thing that we have here is our x minus 2 plus 3x plus 8. Now, when we are adding expressions, you know in the past that we have to stick with like terms. So we can only add like terms. So I have a negative 2 plus 8. I actually subtract since they have different signs, and I get positive or plus 6. Then I take the x, and x plus 3 more x gives me 4x total. So my final answer to this first problem then is 4x plus 6. Okay, let's take a look at another problem. Okay, in this problem, we are doing the exact same process, except we're doing it horizontally. So we're going to use properties of operations to group like terms and simplify, meaning that we're going to be using the commutative property, and we might also use the associative property. So first, I've got my expression here rewritten without the parentheses. So I have negative 4y plus 3 plus 11y minus 5. We're now going to take this math problem and use the commutative property of addition to rewrite it, rewrite it, putting the y's together and the whole numbers together, or the constants together. So variables together, constants together. So I have negative 4y plus 11y plus 3 minus 5. So we're going to group together the like terms. If I have negative 4y plus 11y, that leaves me with 7y. Well, and they've actually rewritten them with parentheses. So I have 7y. And then 3 minus 5 leaves me with a negative 2. So 7y minus 2 is our final answer. Now, honestly, I do not care which method you use. If you prefer to do it vertically, complete it vertically. If you prefer horizontally, that's fine as well. Your choice. Okay, on this next one, we have to use the distributive property before we can do anything else. So I need to take this 2 that is on the outside of the parentheses and multiply it by negative 7 and 5/10 z. And then I need to multiply 2 by 3. So when I use the distributive property, I now have negative 15z plus 6. And then I take my plus 5z minus 2. I'm just eliminating the parentheses there. Okay, commutative property of addition means I'm going to rewrite it so that like terms are by each other. If I take negative 15z plus 5z, I'm going to end up with negative 10z. And 6 minus 2 leaves me with 4. So my final answer, after I combine the like terms, is negative 10z plus 4. Okay, right now, please pause the video, write down problems 1 and 2 onto your paper and work them out yourself. When you are done, start the video and check your work. Okay, so the first one I'm going to go ahead and do the horizontal method on. The second one I'm going to do the vertical method on. So if I'm going to keep it horizontally, I'm just going to drop the parentheses. So the first time I write it, it would just be without parentheses. Now I'm going to use the commutative property to put like terms by each other. And now I'm going to simplify by combining like terms. X plus 2x is 3x. 3 minus 1 is 2. So I get 3x plus 2 as my final answer. Okay, the next problem, I am going to rewrite vertically. So I'm going to have a negative 8z plus 4 plus 8z minus 7. Okay, so the negative 8z and positive 8z cancel each other out, so I'm left with nothing, or a 0. And anytime you're adding or subtracting 0, it doesn't change anything. So then I have positive 4 and negative 7. I have to subtract the absolute values, and I get 3. And it's a negative 3 because negative 7 has the bigger absolute value. So my final answer to this problem is negative 3. Okay, we are now going to practice subtracting linear expressions. To subtract one expression from another, add the opposite of each term in the expression. And once again, you can do it vertically or horizontally. So in problem A, we have 5x plus 6 minus negative x plus 6. So first thing they did is rewrote it vertically. Remember, the rule for subtraction is add the opposite. So my negative over here, my subtraction becomes addition. The negative sign becomes positive, and the positive sign becomes negative. Now it's rewritten over here. 5x plus x is 6x. The positive 6 and negative 6 cancel each other out. So my answer is 6x. Okay, problem B is rewritten down here. So this time they're going to use the horizontal method. Use properties of operations to group like terms. So the first thing I need to do is the distributive property. So 2 times 4y and 2 times 3. So now I have negative 8y plus 6, because negative 2 times 4y is negative 8y. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Then the commutative property means I'm going to put like terms by each other. And when I combine these like terms, 7y minus 8y is negative y, and 5 plus 6 is 11. So negative y plus 11 is my final answer.